The maid's daughter was a foolish, food-obsessed girl, the kind of female lead you'd find in a sugary romance novel. In my previous life, at my grand birthday party, she secretly devoured the custom-made cake that cost me a fortune. Furious, I confronted her. She burst into tears and threw herself into my fiancé's arms. "It's my fault. I couldn't control my greed for food," sob. "It's only natural for Miss to be angry. I just beg you not to fire me, otherwise I'll starve to death." My fiancé chose to defend her and forced me to apologize. I had always been frail. My mother spent a fortune importing premium bird's nest, 30,000 yuan per jin, to nourish me. Even that she wouldn't spare. She secretly ate it and even declared, "If I can't eat this bird's nest, I'd rather die." When I tried to fire her, my own brother slapped me. He cut off my allowance and threw me out of the house. Compared to her, I was just a spoiled rich girl who knew nothing of hardship, petty and unreasonable. Meanwhile, she was seen as a pitiful, pure-hearted girl whose mind was filled with nothing but food. Without lifting a finger, she became everyone's darling. Driven by jealousy, I went mad targeting her. In the end, I met a miserable fate, dying without even a complete body. Only after death did I learn the truth. She was the naive, food-loving heroine of a sweet romance novel, and I was the vicious supporting character, existing only to highlight her innocence. When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the day she stole my cake.
Chapter 1. The moment I saw the towering castle-shaped cake, I realized I had been reborn. Back to my 18th birthday. To make my coming-of-age celebration perfect, I had spent an entire year preparing for it. From the grand venue design to the dress and makeup, everything was personally planned by me. And the centerpiece of it all was the cake before me, worth 13.14 million yuan. I had specially hired a Michelin-star French pastry chef who spent half a year crafting this masterpiece. Every ingredient, from the cream to the flour, was top tier. More than that, this cake carried my secret feelings for my fiancé, Tang Yu. I had even asked the designer to sculpt miniature versions of the two of us, standing together in a loving embrace on top of the cake. According to plan, I would make the first cut, then share it with everyone. But when the cake was wheeled out, the decorations had been destroyed. The castle was half-eaten, ruined beyond recognition. The tiny bride figurine in her white dress was missing half her body. The cake that symbolized my hopes had turned into an omen of misfortune. In my previous life, I had exploded in rage at this sight. I immediately confronted the culprit, Ai Chi, the maid's daughter, who had brought in the cake. Terrified, she hid in Tang Yu's arms, crying pitifully. "I couldn't control myself. I just beg you not to fire me. I'll starve otherwise." Not only had she stolen my cake, she also clung to my fiancé, refusing to let go. Fueled by old grievances, I completely lost control and lunged at her like a madwoman. But Tang Yu protected her. He shoved me straight into the cake. I twisted my ankle, my dress ruined, and the entire party was destroyed. Worse, my fiancé publicly despised me, called off our engagement, and I became a laughingstock. From that day on, I burned with hatred for Ai Chi. I tried everything to get revenge, but my brother, Ji Fei Zhou, always sided with her. Without permission, one day she ate my dessert. The next, she tasted my meals. Then she drank my expensive supplements meant for my health. She even created a social media account, documenting the taste of everything she ate. Because the food was luxurious and the posts were frequent, she quickly gained a large following. Every time she bit her finger, swallowed, and said, "That looks so delicious," I knew she was eyeing my food again.
Ai-Chi had refined taste, and she only targeted rare, expensive delicacies, like the imported bird's nest my mother sent, 30,000 yuan per jin, a luxury few could afford. Yet she secretly ate it every single day. When I discovered it and tried to fire her, she ran to my brother crying. "I only ate a little bird's nest and Miss wants to fire me. If I can't eat delicious food, I'd rather die." Ji Fei-jo threatened me. "She's just a greedy little cat, so what if she eats some of your bird's nest? She's not stealing your position as the young lady of the house. You clearly know nothing about real hardship. I should throw you out so you learn to appreciate food." I refused, but I never imagined my own brother would choose a servant's daughter over me. He threw me out of the house without hesitation. He even froze my bank accounts and prevented anyone from helping me. I was forced to sleep on the streets, dig through trash, fight stray dogs for food. Meanwhile, Ai-Chi became a famous food blogger. Bird's nest worth 30,000 yuan per jin, Alaskan king crab worth 100,000 yuan each became her everyday snacks. Her followers adored her. "Such a cute little foodie. Watching her eat makes me hungry. She doesn't waste food at all, so well behaved. What kind of family eats like this every day? I'm so jealous. The young lady even films live streams for the maid. How does she eat like that and not gain weight?" After I died, my soul lingered beside her. That's when I saw the truth. Behind the camera, she threw away massive amounts of food. Even the ginseng my mother insisted I take monthly. She used it as decoration, then tossed it. And my brother? He simply watched her with doting eyes. That's when I understood. This world was a sweet romance novel. Ai-Chi, the silly, food-loving heroine, lived exactly as her name suggested. Her mind contained nothing but food, yet her naive simplicity made everyone adore her. Powerful men showered her with endless resources. Even though she only wanted to eat, they pushed everything toward her. Step by step, she rose to become a top-tier food influencer. And me? A vicious supporting character, a puppet controlled by the plot. Jealous, malicious, despicable, destined to die horribly just to satisfy the readers.
Snapping back to reality, I turned to look at Ai-Chi. She had just licked the cream from the corner of her lips, letting out a regretful sigh. "In this world, only delicious food will never betray you. This cake is so good. If only I could eat something like this every day." I let out a cold laugh and pointed at the ruined cake. "Do you remember whose birthday this is? You were supposed to bring the cake in for me, yet you secretly ate it instead?" Ai-Chi looked aggrieved. "I've been busy all day and haven't eaten anything. The smell was too tempting. I couldn't help it. I only meant to take one bite." I cut her off mercilessly. A maid's daughter really has no manners. Her bright eyes instantly filled with tears. She looked pitiful, on the verge of crying. "Miss, I know I was wrong. Please don't fire me. I just want to eat a little cake. I'll do anything. Be your servant, your slave. Just give me something to eat. You can hit me or scold me however you like. I won't fight back." She was clearly the one in the wrong. There was plenty of food at the party. Why did she have to eat my custom-made cake? Yet she acted like the victim, as if I were bullying her. My fiancé, Tang Yu, immediately felt sorry for her. He stepped forward and scolded me loudly. "You made someone who hasn't eaten all day carry a cake. That's abuse. How could a little greedy cat like her resist delicious food? You're a high and mighty young lady. You don't understand hardship. She lives for food. And besides, cake is meant to be eaten. What's the difference if she eats it earlier? Ji Shunyan, do you really need to make such a big deal out of this?" The weaker party always wins sympathy. The guests, already moved by her tears, quickly took her side. They began criticizing me. "It's just cake. Why be so petty? It doesn't even affect the party. Let her have a bite. What's the big deal? A pure-hearted girl like this is rare. It's not gold or silver, it's just cake. Seeing everyone defend her, a smug look flashed in Aichi's eyes.
Chapter 2. To provoke me further, she deliberately put on an innocent act, patting her round belly as drool nearly escaped her lips. Since the cake is already ruined, why don't you just let me finish it? I barely had a few bites earlier. I can't stop thinking about it. Sob, just thinking about it makes me drool again. I laughed. Sure, then go ahead and eat it all. Aichi froze. What? She clearly didn't expect me to agree so easily. But before she could react, I suddenly raised my hand and grabbed her long hair. Amid her piercing scream, I slammed her head straight into the cake. A cold laugh escaped my lips. Since you love eating so much, I'll let you have your fill for once. After all, I'm such a generous young lady. I never mistreat my servants. Feeling her struggling wildly beneath my grip, I pressed down even harder. Go on, eat. Why did you stop? Don't you love cake the most? No one expected me to act so suddenly. By the time they snapped out of it, Aichi's face and hair were completely covered in cream. There wasn't a trace left of her previous, delicate, lovable appearance. Tang Yu flew into a rage and shouted at me, Ji Shunyan, have you gone insane? Let go of Chi-Chi right now. Is bullying others all you know how to do? The louder he yelled, the more exhilaration I felt, and the harsher I became. Aichi, pinned against the cake, could only let out muffled sobs. Before I could say anything, a powerful force suddenly slammed into me. I was thrown backward, crashing into the internal frame of the cake. Something sharp cut into my head. Blood instantly poured out. If the push had been any stronger, it might have pierced straight through my skull. Pain exploded in my head. I almost couldn't stand. Dark bruises quickly surfaced on my bare arms. I couldn't even speak. I could only stare coldly at the person who had attacked me. Ji Fei Jue, my own brother. He had injured me, yet didn't spare me a single glance. All his attention was on Aichi. He carefully lifted her up, as if even the slightest force might hurt her. The moment she saw him, Aichi burst into tears, sobbing uncontrollably. Brother Ji, I was wrong. I won't dare to eat any more. Please don't hit me again. Tang Yu's eyes turned red with distress. He turned to me coldly and ordered, She only wanted a bite of cake. What did she do wrong? You treated her like this today. If you don't apologize, don't even think about marrying me.
After saying that, he immediately turned back to Aichi, as if even looking at me disgusted him. That bone-deep hatred once again made me realize how powerful the plot was. Otherwise, as the heiress of the Ji family, how could I have ever fallen for such a self-righteous, useless man? Tang Yu had no real ability. Among the many heirs of the Tang family, he wasn't even remarkable. If he had any redeeming quality, it was his decent looks. I rejected him without hesitation. You want me to apologize? Dream on. Everyone was stunned. After all, I used to obey Tang Yu completely, especially when he threatened to call off the engagement. No matter how wronged I felt, I would always swallow it and bow my head. For love. Tang Yu was briefly surprised, but quickly regained his composure. Ji Shunyan, what I hate most is your spoiled attitude. She's already frightened by you. You need to compensate her. Bring out your bird's nest for her to recover. She's a pure girl. She doesn't care about money, only food. Compared to your greedy face, she's like a little angel, and you still can't tolerate her? Apologize, now. His tone was cold, his words full of disdain. It made me recall my previous life, how he used the threat of breaking off the engagement to control me, forcing me to bow to the maid's daughter who was clearly in the wrong, forcing me to give her everything. But this time, I would not endure anything, Not again." I looked at him with open contempt. "A rotten, philandering man like you dares to judge me? Good. Since everyone's here today, let them all witness this. I, Ji Shunyan, officially break off my engagement with Tong Yu. From this moment on, we have nothing to do with each other. Don't even think about using me for your personal gain." Tong Yu froze in disbelief. Ji Feizhao, having just comforted Ai Qi, heard that I refused to apologize. His expression darkened. He stepped toward me and raised his hand. "Ji Shunyan, it seems I've been too lenient with you. Ai Qi has suffered since childhood. She's never had good food. She only ate a piece of your cake, and you can't even tolerate that? Since our parents aren't here to discipline you, then I will." We stood extremely close enough for me to hear the wind from his swinging hand. He put all his strength into that slap, to avenge Ai Qi, to teach me a lesson. Without the slightest hesitation, he was ready to humiliate me in front of everyone. I lifted my chin and sneered. "If you dare hit me, our parents will be on a plane back tomorrow. She's just a maid's daughter who dared to steal from her employer. Me disciplining her is only natural. And you're just a brother who bullies his own sister."
At the mention of our parents, Ji Feizhou hesitated. His hand stopped midair. A flicker of uncertainty crossed his face. I let out a cold snort. In the past, I had protected him, never wanting to trouble our parents abroad, so I never told them anything. But now I understood. He wasn't worth protecting. I looked around and raised my voice. "The cake was meant to be shared. She couldn't even wait a few minutes? Only an idiot would believe she'd starve to death without that one bite. What era are we living in? It's not a time where people go hungry. Has she never eaten cake before? Why did she have to sneak a bite before the party even started? She deliberately ruined my $1,000,000 cake and my entire birthday party. A greedy parasite like her, do you really think she's worth defending?" The crowd fell silent. Then, slowly, their expressions changed. Realization dawned. Ai Qi saw her act being exposed. She stomped her foot and burst into tears as she ran away. "I really didn't think that much. If Miss wants to blame someone, just blame me." Ji Feizhou and Tang Yu glared at me and chased after her. "Just you wait. You're spoiled rotten. You don't understand hardship. We'll make you pay for this." My entire body throbbed with pain. I had no interest in wasting another second on them. I directly called the family doctor. No rush. The deaths of 2 lifetimes, I would settle slowly.
Chapter 3. I was diagnosed with a concussion and one of my ribs was fractured. All I could do was lie in bed and recover. After days of drifting in and out of sleep, I finally began to feel a little better. That was when I learned. Even while I was bedridden, Ai Qi hadn't been idle for a single moment. My weekly afternoon tea had all been delivered to her. She freely took aesthetic photos, wrote long, elaborate reviews, and quickly gained a considerable following. Soon after, at her fans' request, she started live streaming. With her striking looks and charming personality, she rapidly rose as a trending food influencer. Her viewers all assumed she was some wealthy young lady. One day, I happened to catch her live stream. Curious, I clicked in. The table in front of her was filled with exquisite dishes, a wide variety, all expensive. She did nothing but gorge herself. The comment section was flooded with, "So cute! So cute!" Ji Feizhou personally had servants bring her dessert, then gently wiped the cream from her lips with his hand. "Eat slowly. You can have anything you want." His tone was so tender, it made people nauseous. Ai Qi nodded obediently, her eyes curving into a sweet smile. "Brother Ji, you're so good to me. With so much delicious food, I love you to death."
Ji Fei-zhu couldn't resist pinching her cheek. His voice turned husky. "You're so adorable, Chi-Chi. Makes me want to take a bite out of you." She tilted her head in confusion. "Brother Ji, why would you want to eat me? Are you hungry?" Though reluctant, she suppressed her craving and picked up a small cake in front of her, offering it to him. "Here, you eat this, then you won't be hungry anymore." Ji Fei-zhu shook his head, smiling indulgently without explaining. Ai Chi frowned slightly, muttering, "Men are so strange. Cake is still better." Her innocent, clueless expression drove the live stream audience into a frenzy. The chat exploded with excitement. Gifts poured in endlessly. "Oh my God, this is so sweet. I'm dying. Who is this girl? I need all her info in 3 minutes. She's soft and sweet like a cake. I want a bite too." Cold, dominant CEO versus clueless foodie girl. When will she understand his feelings? "She's so cute. I'm falling in love."
Their sugary interactions sent viewers into a spiral of obsession. They began analyzing every tiny detail. For example, Ji Fei-zhu was known for being a clean freak, yet he didn't mind wiping cream off her mouth with his bare hands. True love confirmed. Or, Ai Chi treasured food and always saved her favorite strawberry cake for last. Yet this time, she gave it away immediately. This must be mutual love. More and more viewers flooded into the stream. The audience quickly surpassed 100,000. Just then, my bird's nest soup had been prepared and was being brought upstairs to me. Ai Chi sniffed the air like a little hamster. Her eyes instantly lit up. Staring at the bowl, she bit her finger pitifully. "So it's Mrs. Bird's nest. No wonder it smells so good. It looks delicious." Ji Fei-zhu chuckled. "You've eaten so much and you're still not full? What a greedy little cat. If you want it, just eat. Your brother Ji Fei-zhu has plenty of money. You won't eat me into poverty. Bring it over." Ai Chi bit her finger, swallowing hard, her face full of hesitation. I shouldn't. This is for Mrs. Health. I can't steal it. Last time I ate her cake, she got so angry. If she finds out I ate this, she'll kill me." Ji Fei-zhu immediately lost his temper. He forcibly ordered it brought over. "Eat it. You're so weak, you need nourishment too. If she dares bully you, I'll deal with her. This house is mine to control." Right at that moment, I walked downstairs and heard everything. I let out a cold laugh. "Ji Fei-zhu, let me remind you, this bird's nest was specially sent by Mom for me. It belongs to me. If Ai Chi wants it, she can pay for it herself. Being generous with someone else's health, what kind of man does that make you? And don't flatter yourself thinking your domineering yet gentle act is charming." Being humiliated in front of so many people, Ji Fei-zhu's face darkened instantly. He spoke coldly. "I run this house. If you don't like it, endure it or get out." I knew he meant it. After all, I had already experienced his cruelty in my previous life. As the novel's main lead, his boundless indulgence towards his beloved was the main selling point. The audience watching the live stream was probably squealing in delight right now, eager to see how he would punish me, the villain. Fine, if that's the case, then I would play the villain perfectly. Ignoring his threat, I raised my hand and knocked over the bowl of bird's nest from Ai Chi's grasp. She screamed in shock, her eyes fixated on the spilled soup as if she were about to cry. "Miss, if you don't want me to eat it, just say so. I'll give it back. But why would you waste food like this? I know you're rich, but wasting food is shameful."
I curled my lips in a smirk and pointed to the floor. "It's dirty now. I don't want it anymore. Since you like it so much, consider it your reward. Kneel down and lick it clean." I raised an eyebrow, gesturing for her to lower her head. Not just the floor, even my shoes were splashed with the soup. To make it easier for her, I even stepped closer. For a split second, her face twisted into something terrifying. But remembering she was live streaming, her eyes immediately reddened. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "Even if you won't let me eat, why humiliate me like this?" That was enough. Ji-Fei Zhou snapped. He roared my name and tried to rush forward, but after what happened at the birthday party, I had been prepared. I had already hired 2 bodyguards loyal only to me. At a glance from me, they restrained him instantly. The servants hid to the side, not daring to breathe. After all, we both carried the Ji surname. Helping either side was dangerous. I walked up to Ji-Fei Zhou, smiled coldly, and kicked him hard between the legs. He collapsed to his knees instantly, his face twisted in agony, pathetic beyond words. Now unable to even protect himself, let alone stand up for Ai Qi. I turned to her with a pleasant smile. "Well, let me see just how determined you are to enjoy delicacies. Will you kneel willingly, or do I have to force you?" Ai Qi looked utterly pitiful as she begged me. "The bird's nest is already dirty after you knocked it over. Why are you still targeting me like this?" I let out a mocking laugh. "Weren't you the one who always said that if you could taste all the delicacies in the world, you'd be willing to pay any price? And now you can't even endure a little humiliation? That's quite disappointing. Or were you just putting on an act all along? Your fans are watching, you know." A flicker of panic flashed across Ai Qi's eyes the moment her facade was exposed. She was afraid that if this continued, I would reveal all her secrets. To save face, she quickly came up with a seemingly righteous excuse. "I only have this one chance to taste it. If I give it up over a little humiliation, I'd be letting my fans down." With that, she reluctantly dropped to her knees, lowered her head, and licked my shoe. Since I couldn't see her expression, I forced her to speak. "You're a famous food reviewer with millions of followers. Go on, describe the taste for your audience." Her mind was completely blank. In this situation, there was no way she could come up with anything eloquent. Grinding her teeth, she forced out a few words. "It's delicious." I burst out laughing. So this is what passes for a food critic?
As I turned to leave, Ji-Fei Zhou, still weak on the ground, spat out venomously. "Ji Shunyan, just you wait. I'll make you regret everything you did today." I didn't care in the slightest. Shrugging, I sneered. "Fine, I'll be waiting." That night, I shot straight to the trending charts. Countless fans of Ai Qi flooded the internet, demanding my death. "Chi-Chi is so pitiful. She just wanted to eat bird's nest and got humiliated like this. So stingy. It's just a bowl of bird's nest. Who does she think she is? A queen? Only she gets to enjoy good food? She's a rich young lady. Of course she doesn't understand what it's like to struggle for food. I've never even tasted bird's nest before. Watching her waste it hurts." The screen was filled with the word "die" in glaring red. But I felt nothing, not even the slightest sadness. Someone who had already died once no longer cared about public opinion. What mattered was my own satisfaction. In this life, I would live freer than anyone else. Perhaps not sure how to show her face after the bird's nest incident, Ai Qi went silent for a while. No live streams, no updates. But knowing her as well as I did, she was definitely planning something big behind the scenes. Her fans, unaware of the truth, grew anxious. They flooded the internet with vicious insults directed at me, even dragging my parents into it with fabricated accusations. This time, I didn't tolerate it. I selected the most extreme offenders and sent them lawyers' warning letters. Only then did they finally quiet down. But peace didn't last long. One day,
Ji Feiju barged into my room with a group of people. Ai Chi hid behind them, holding her phone. In a trembling voice, she spoke into the camera. "I'm sorry for making everyone worry. Today, I finally found the courage to face the devil." Ji Feiju, clearly having forgotten his previous lesson, sneered at me arrogantly. "Ji Shunyan, I told you you would regret this one day. I gave you countless chances to repent, but you refused to appreciate them. You crossed my bottom line again and again, bullying Chi-Chi. Now, your good days are over." With a dramatic wave of his hand, he ordered, "All of you, throw Ji Shunyan out of this house." At that moment, he didn't look like the refined male lead of a novel. He looked like a full-fledged villain. The group slowly advanced towards me, surrounding me. Thinking victory was guaranteed, Ai Chi stepped forward smugly. "Brother Feiju said if you weren't here, no one would compete with me for food anymore. All the delicious things would belong to me. I just want to eat. Miss, please don't blame me."
She blinked her big, innocent eyes, shifting all responsibility onto Ji Feiju, pretending once again to be a simple girl who only cared about food. But I didn't miss the flash of hatred deep in her eyes. Too lazy to watch her pathetic performance any longer, I turned my cold gaze toward the crowd. "Who dares touch me? When our parents return, none of you will escape punishment." Just standing there, I was enough to intimidate them. Their movements slowed, hesitation and fear evident. Ji Feiju was furious at their cowardice, his face twisted between rage and humiliation. "You useless trash! What are you afraid of? Our parents are overseas. They can't control anything here. I am the master of this house. Throw her out now. If anyone is afraid, get out with her. Move. I won't repeat myself." He barked orders with full authority, but the moment our parents suddenly appeared, he instantly shrank like a frightened quail. Facing their overwhelming anger, he didn't even dare breathe loudly. My father pointed at him, furious. "Go on, keep talking. Weren't you so capable just now? If Sun Yan hadn't told us, we wouldn't even know you've been bullying her like this. Trying to throw her out of the house? We may be old, but we're not dead yet. As long as we're here, this house is not yours to control." My mother, always decisive, snatched Ai Chi's phone and smashed it onto the ground. The screen shattered instantly. The live stream cut off. Ai Chi stood frozen. No matter how much she racked her brain, she couldn't understand how the situation had suddenly reversed. In truth, right after the birthday party, I had already told my parents everything. They had wanted to return immediately, but were delayed due to business overseas. Their timing now was perfect. Ji Feiju quickly pieced together everything. Rage exploded within him. He pointed at me and cursed. "Ji Shunyan, you bitch! How dare you set me up! You won't die a peaceful death!" That single sentence completely shattered my parents' last bit of hope in him. Ignoring his resistance, they kicked him out of the house, along with Ai Chi. The front door slammed shut. Through it, I faintly heard Ai Chi crying miserably. "Brother Feiju, what do we do now? We don't even have money for food. We're going to starve." Ji Feiju roared in fury. "You damned old fools! You're completely biased toward Ji Shunyan. She's just a woman. She'll never be able to run the company properly. Just wait. One day you'll be begging me to come back and inherit everything."
Chapter 4. Perhaps unsure how to show her face after the bird's nest incident, Ai went silent for a while. No live streams, no updates. But knowing her as well as I did, she was definitely planning something big behind the scenes. Her fans, unaware of the truth, grew anxious. They flooded the internet with vicious insults directed at me,
even dragging my parents into it with fabricated accusations. This time, I didn't tolerate it. I selected the most extreme offenders and sent them lawyers' warning letters. Only then did they finally quiet down. But peace didn't last long. One day, Ji-Fei Zhu barged into my room with a group of people. A-Chi hid behind them, holding her phone. In a trembling voice, she spoke into the camera. "I'm sorry for making everyone worry. Today, I finally found the courage to face the devil." Ji-Fei Zhu, clearly having forgotten his previous lesson, sneered at me arrogantly. "Ji Shunyan, I told you you would regret this one day. I gave you countless chances to repent, but you refused to appreciate them. You crossed my bottom line again and again, bullying Chi-Chi. Now your good days are over." With a dramatic wave of his hand, he ordered, "All of you, throw Ji Shunyan out of this house." At that moment, he didn't look like the refined male lead of a novel. He looked like a full-fledged villain. The group slowly advanced toward me, surrounding me. Thinking victory was guaranteed, A-Chi stepped forward smugly. "Brother Fei Zhu said if you weren't here, no one would compete with me for food anymore. All the delicious things would belong to me. I just want to eat. Miss, please don't blame me." She blinked her big, innocent eyes, shifting all responsibility onto Ji-Fei Zhu, pretending once again to be a simple girl who only cared about food. But I didn't miss the flash of hatred deep in her eyes. Too lazy to watch her pathetic performance any longer, I turned my cold gaze toward the crowd. "Who dares touch me? When our parents return, none of you will escape punishment." Just standing there, I was enough to intimidate them. Their movements slowed, hesitation and fear evident. Ji-Fei Zhu was furious at their cowardice, his face twisted between rage and humiliation. "You useless trash! What are you afraid of? Our parents are overseas. They can't control anything here. I am the master of this house. Throw her out now. If anyone is afraid, get out with her. Move, I won't repeat myself." He barked orders with full authority, but the moment our parents suddenly appeared, he instantly shrank like a frightened quail. Facing their overwhelming anger, he didn't even dare breathe loudly.
My father pointed at him furious. "Go on, keep talking. Weren't you so capable just now? If Shunyan hadn't told us, we wouldn't even know you've been bullying her like this. Trying to throw her out of the house? We may be old, but we're not dead yet. As long as we're here, this house is not yours to control." My mother, always decisive, snatched Ai-Chi's phone and smashed it onto the ground. The screen shattered instantly, the live stream cut off. Ai-Chi stood frozen. No matter how much she racked her brain, she couldn't understand how the situation had suddenly reversed. In truth, right after the birthday party, I had already told my parents everything. They had wanted to return immediately, but were delayed due to business overseas. Their timing now was perfect. Ji-Fei Zhou quickly pieced everything together. Rage exploded within him. He pointed at me and cursed. "Ji Shunyan, you bitch! How dare you set me up! You won't die a peaceful death!" That single sentence completely shattered my parents' last bit of hope in him. Ignoring his resistance, they kicked him out of the house, along with Ai-Chi. The front door slammed shut. Through it, I faintly heard Ai-Chi crying miserably. "Brother Fei Zhou, what do we do now? We don't even have money for food. We're going to starve." Ji-Fei Zhou roared in fury. "You damned old fools! You're completely biased toward Ji Shunyan. She's just a woman. She'll never be able to run the company properly. Just wait. One day you'll be begging me to come back and inherit everything." Chapter 5.
To prevent Ji-Fei Zhou's threats from becoming reality, my parents arranged a series of intensive courses for me, personally guiding me to take over the family business. I knew this opportunity was rare, so I absorbed knowledge like a sponge. With natural talent and relentless effort, I quickly became capable of handling things on my own. On behalf of my parents, I attended a high-level business banquet. Throughout the event, countless people politely addressed me as young President Ji. They surrounded me enthusiastically, pitching their projects, hoping to secure my investment. I remained calm, neither arrogant nor impulsive. No matter how flattering their words were, I simply smiled elegantly, calculating the potential profits in my mind. After listening to many proposals, I finally found one with real promise. Just as I was about to ask Tang Tian for more details, a familiar voice called out affectionately, "Shunyan!" I looked up and almost didn't recognize him. Tang Yu. He looked utterly miserable, worn down, defeated. The suit he wore was the same one from my birthday party, now outdated and shabby. After losing his engagement to me, he had lost everything. Even his former charm was gone. His current state was worse than I had imagined. He hurried towards me. I instinctively stepped back, keeping distance. Noticing my rejection, he stopped awkwardly. Pain filled his eyes. They even glistened with unshed tears. "Shunyan, you still haven't forgiven me? You've been upset for too long, but I'll always be patient. These days without you have been unbearable. My heart feels like it's missing a piece. Only now do I realize how deeply I've fallen for you. I can't accept losing you. I want to stay by your side forever." His emotional confession moved many people nearby, but to me, it was laughable. Everyone here knew how to flatter me properly, yet this man, trying to win me back, still spoke in ways that belittled and insulted me. What he couldn't live without wasn't me, it was my family's wealth and power. And of course, as a devoted supporting male character in the original story, the one he truly loved had always been Ai Qi. I heard, after being kicked out, Ai Qi struggled badly. She secretly met Tang Yu behind Ji-Fei Zhou's back, often crying to him about starving, asking for money. But Ai Qi was like a bottomless pit. No matter how much he gave, it was never enough. Meanwhile, the Tang family was in the middle of a power struggle. Tang Yu had no ability, no influence, and no income.
"So," he turned to me, hoping to take a shortcut using his looks. I looked at him with refined disdain, not even bothering to hide my disgust. "I don't have a habit of picking up trash. Garbage belongs in the bin, not crawling out to disgust others. Get out of my sight. I don't want to see you for even a second." His face turned pale after being humiliated. He dropped the act completely, revealing his true vicious nature. "Ji Shunyan, you should know, in this circle, no one else will marry a woman whose engagement has been broken. I'm the only one who can tolerate your arrogant temper. If not me, who do you think you can marry?" He sneered and reached out to grab me, but was stopped by Tang Tian. She didn't show him any mercy. "Men are everywhere. Not all of them are worthy of Miss Ji. Tang Yu, can't you see she wants nothing to do with you? Get out. Don't embarrass the Tang family further." I smiled faintly at the confrontation between the siblings, then turned to Tang Tian. "I'll give you a chance to prove yourself. If you remove Tang Yu from the Tang family, I'll cooperate with you." Tang Tian was overjoyed. "Give me 3 days. I'll present a proposal that satisfies you." Tang Yu was furious. "Ji Shunyan, are you leaving me no way out?" I simply smiled and said nothing.
No one dared oppose the Ji family. My words would spread quickly, and those eager to curry favor would do everything they could to crush him. He had no future left, and he knew it. His face turned ashen, his eyes hollow. He didn't even have the strength to resist, allowing Tong Tian to drag him away. After dealing with Tong Yu, I shifted my attention to Ji Fei Shui and Ai Qi. I used the exact same methods that he once used against me. Freeze their bank accounts, cut off all income, block every opportunity. Soon they fell into utter misery, starving, desperate. At that moment, a so-called fan approached them, offering a lucrative live stream contract, promising traffic, exposure, scripts, everything needed for success. Starving and desperate, they didn't notice the trap. They signed it immediately. Didn't she love eating? Then I'd let her eat to her heart's content. Didn't they love playing couple? Then I'd bind them together forever. They happily walked into my trap without realizing it. Ji Fei Shui even joked smugly. Looks like heaven still favors us. A loyal fan just came Song Chen to us. At first, everything went smoothly. When Ai Qi resumed streaming, her fans flooded back.
I was kicked out by Miss I have no skills except eating. I can only rely on live streaming to survive. Please continue supporting me. With just a few tears and complaints, she easily earned large donations. But Ji Feizu wasn't satisfied. Having tasted poverty, he became obsessed with money. To maximize profit, he forced Ai Qi to stream 12 hours a day and eat enough food for 5 grown men. She refused, of course. The naive foodie girl was just a persona. If easy money was available, why would she torture herself? They argued constantly, but to maintain their couple image, they had to keep acting affectionate. Ji Feizu, relying on his strength, force-fed her food. In just 1 month, she gained 15 kilograms. Fans called it weight gained from happiness. Her slim figure disappeared. Her once smooth, fair skin turned greasy and rough. Her unhealthy lifestyle destroyed her body. She became breathless after just a few steps, lazy, sluggish. Eventually, she gave up resisting entirely. From a cute foodie, she became a grotesque competitive eater. The more she ate, the more bizarre it became, the more views she gained. Her weight spiraled out of control. At 125 kilograms, the hospital issued a critical condition notice. Ji Feizu seized the opportunity, opened donations, begged fans for money. But this time, it backfired. Fans turned on them. Scandals surfaced, including a video of Ai Qi stealing my cake and manipulating others against me. Only then did everyone realize she was never innocent. She was a master manipulator. Her image collapsed instantly. The internet exploded with hatred. She tried to apologize on live stream, but no one believed her anymore. Unable to accept her fall, she spiraled into binge eating until her organs failed and she died. As for Ji Feizu, after realizing she was no longer useful, he tried to run away with the money, but the contract trap triggered. After withdrawals, almost nothing remained. He was buried in debt, reduced to poverty. Every day, he fought for scraps with Tong Yu, who had also been cast out. Wounded, infected, they eventually died miserably. I read the report my assistant handed me. Ai Qi had eaten herself to death. Ji Feizu died in poverty and disease. Seeing my enemies meet their end, I finally felt relieved. At last, I was free from hatred. From now on, I would live freely, happily,
unrestrained.
Hey there! If you enjoy our audio content, don't forget to hit that like button and share this video with your friends. Most importantly, click subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated with everything Zuzu Audio. Support the channel and join our community today.